Okay, let's roll.
All right. Back on the pound here, Kramer Sandstone, Binkley,
Pound.
yeah, pound it, air pound it, since we're still under
Air
the
virtual.
the quarantine, not quarantine rules. We're under some type
Social
of rules.
distancing
Social distancing.
pound.
There
It's
we
the
go.
pound.
Yeah, it's the pound here. Once again, Kramer Sandstone, Jay Binkley. A lot of things have happened since the last time we've kind of spoke.
Except for the logo.
Except for the logo. Logo still looks like a third grader did it.
Yes.
I
It
mean,
looks
I
pretty
made
bad.
it. So technically, I didn't really go to school for art. I went to school for media, so it's two different type of arts. But I would decide to go with the talking art. But a couple things happened. No, there's a lot of things that happened, especially with rule changes in the NFL.
Big day in sports.
We'll hit that. We'll hit on that a little bit later on. But first thing, we're talking about Major League Baseball. It holds near and dear to my heart. And from what the comments that Max Scherzer said and what Trevor Bauer said also to Ollie off of that, it does not sound like Major League Baseball is going to happen this year.
It doesn't. And I'm starting to lose hope, to be honest with you. I mean, it sounded like, here's the thing. When this thing first started, it's like, all right, when's baseball going to get going? You know, it should be the first one out.
Exactly.
Like baseball,
especially for the summer months.
isn't that opportunity because they haven't started the season yet. You know, let's go out. But I knew there was going to be difficulties because there has to be that miniature spring training.
Yeah, there has to be.
It's not a stop-start sport.
No.
You can't expect guys just to go out there like basketball or hockey or anything. The arm.
I mean, the only reason for spring training is for pitchers and catchers to get used to get my knees, get
the
my
only
arm
reason.
ready. That's the only reason. And hitting for the batters, but I feel like they're hitting in the cages all the time during when it's not happening for baseball.
It used to be about guys getting in shape, and they'd use spring training as that. But nowadays, guys are lifting weights all around the year, so it didn't matter. But the arm is your highest paid commodity usually. There is the outlier, like the Mike Trout outlier.
Yep.
But the Scherzers of the world, those guys, the golden arm, the Verlanders, those guys, the golden arms, Blake Snells, the golden arms of baseball. It takes time. It takes time to get going. So I thought, okay, they're going to have to do some kind of spring training. All right, we get half the season. Let's do it. Let's get half the season. And I was like, okay, but the players, the owners, the players, they have to make money.
Yeah.
The owners are in a precarious situation because, one, they have all these salaries they still have to pay. I mean, I get both sides here. I mean, there's really, but the owners, without fans, that's a lot of their cash, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still paying players a lot of money. It's tough. And everything going in the minor leagues, and I'm looking at the Royals, and this is a big development year for them. So, but anyway, I was on about 90% returning.
Yeah.
And, we're talking to Vern and stuff, and then I started to drop a little bit. I'm probably on about 20% at this point. That's pretty high. It's pretty high. But the common sense will prevail. The love of the game.
So
you and I do virtual baseball every night.
Exactly.
Why? Because we love the game. We love just the essence of it. We're not making millions of dollars. We're not making hundreds of dollars. We're doing it because we love baseball and we love sports and we love the game. So I'm hoping that supersedes. But again, I understand ball players, they want their money, and I understand the owner's perspective as well that, hey, where's this going to come from? These guys aren't dumb. I mean, They have money for a reason. It's unfortunate because the fan, we're the ones wanting sports to return.
And with that, you said 20% is your expectations of it possibly coming back. Of course, before I saw what Scherzer said and Bauer said via social media, I was like at a 70%. I thought, okay, there's a good chance for this coming back. If we see KBO and the Japan Nippon League is going to be coming back here soon, okay, there's a good chance for baseball around the worldly stuff. But Major League Baseball, I saw that, and I thought the exact same thing. Maybe at 25% to me right now, thinking that there's going to be baseball. And even with the money aspect, an owner's a businessman, of course. A player's a businessman because he's trying to play to his best abilities.
It's their business.
Exactly.
It's becoming more of a business.
Yeah, they're trying to be their own brand, if you want to say that, to where they can make themselves, all right, I'll make money here, but then if this team doesn't want me or doesn't think that my talents are worth that, I'll just go somewhere else because they're going to pay me that. That's how all of baseball works is go to the highest dollar. Everybody wants their money. They want that cash. And speaking of cash, say like a Mike Trout salary this year. And this is one of the things that they put in that little proposal plan that they would cut down out 50%, which is reasonable. 50% is decent. This is 80% Bink. Mike Trout is supposed to get in the 2020 salary $37.6 million. That would be reduced down to $5.7 million. That is a big steep. And this is a guy, Mike Trout, he probably lives luxuriously. He lives like a millionaire. I mean, he deserves it. He's the best player in Major League Baseball.
He's probably an outlier to this. I mean, he's very private. I don't know how he lives. I mean, he's not flashy. I'll tell you
No.
this. I've met the guy a few times. He's not flashy.
But you got to expect these guys are $1 million. They've got the best car out there that they probably have already paid off. Thinking, okay, it doesn't matter, but they probably have to help out family members down the line. They're probably doing that to help out to clear bases, I guess, or help family members out. But then you got players that are say maybe make $1 million.
So you said the key thing right there, Kramer. You said the key thing right there. These guys make a lot of. What did Patrick Ewing once say? We make a lot of money, but this is when the NBA locked out back in the day with Patrick Hughes. We may make a lot of money, but we spend a lot of money too.
Yes.
And that's true. These mortgages are pretty high. And when you start getting the mortgages 10 or 15, even 20,000 a month, yeah, you have money.
But that goes
and
up
a lot of
quick
money,
for
but
not
you don't have that pipeline coming in that you expect half the year.
Exactly.
You don't have that pipeline coming in. And you're right about parents. The Chiefs once had a guy that played for the Niners named Steve Wallace who downgraded his house. And he and his wife downgraded their home. And she expected his parents, to do the same. Because he had, bought his parents a nice place and everything. And
yeah.
And he's like, okay. And his wife, mom ain't happy, nobody's happy. But she's like, hey, tell your parents. They ended up suing him.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a deal. But yeah, they take care of a lot of people. And during this bad time, during furloughs, during the unemployment, you can't tell me these guys aren't being asked. You're telling me that these guys don't have cousins, uncles coming out of the woodwork.
And say, hey, I need some help here.
Yeah, they're furloughed with jobs.
And it's hard, too, if you're asking somebody that has a lot of money to say, hey, can I have, say, $50 or something like that? It's hard because if you go to them person to person, most of the time they're going to say, yeah, here you go. Because they don't want to tell people no.
It's not only that, but it's the pressure sometimes from mom. Like the players, they always love their mom and dad a ton.
Of course.
And take care of their parents. But all of a sudden, mom calls and says, hey, you say you're a ball player, Kramer, and you're making $25 million a year, let's say. Yeah, me too. And because I'd be really your friend then. I would be a pretend friend with you. Virtual friends. But your mom calls you. You like your mom and respect your mom, obviously. And she calls you and says, Kramer, man, Aunt Sally got laid off. Got laid off from JCPenney's, or that gets closed. Macy's, she got laid off. Uncle Joe got laid off from the bar. Do you have any money for him? And you're sitting there going, but this your mom calling, Yeah,
it's
like this is her sister, and she needs money for it. And all of a sudden, you're giving them money, and I don't know, man. At some point, I get they make a lot of money, but some money I think is better than none.
It's true.
And I know a bunch of people that are taking job furloughs and taking 20% cuts, or maybe not even have a job. At this point, it's bad in some situations with the economy, but they would work for something. They would do it for something, and I know the comparisons are out there quite a bit, Kramer. On, well, these guys are making millions of dollars to play a game. I'll go make $1 million. You would gladly do it. I would gladly do it. I'll
of
go
course.
hit baseball. But the bottom line is, and I said it the other day. Larry in accounting down the street. He may take a pay cut, and he'll go, well, they could take a pay cut if I took a pay cut. The problem is, Larry's not bringing in thousands and millions of people buying his merchandise in to watch him do accounting.
Not at all.
He's not bringing in television radio or revenue to watch him
type
on
away.
The keyboard doing the budget. So there's a bit of a difference.
No, there is. And that's the thing, too, is everybody wants all this, and they're trying to ask for it and things, but how many people are doing that with the owners? Of course, the players are always going to look like the bad people, but the owners are, if they would have done a 50-50 split, possibly, while working all that revenue stuff, it probably would have worked. But from this deal they had sent out to them where these players are making less and less and less, 80% cut, why can't you just go back to that 50? Because the owners are still going to try to make money. Granted, they make almost all the money through ticket sales, through the TV, radio contracts, advertisements, all of that. That's how they pretty much make all their business. And the biggest thing is those ticket sales at the gate is very huge. I actually looked into it. I'm surprised at how much it is. But you got to think, you have to, it all goes back to that business aspect. Always goes back to that. Businessmen for the owners, businessmen for the players, they have to get paid.
They do, and
I wouldn't play. Honestly, if I was a baseball player and they're doing this, I wouldn't play. I would not say I'm not doing that.
Some owners are in a position to do it, and some owners are not. Mm-hmm. They're not in position to lose money. Now, there are some people positioned to lose money, and there's some that just aren't.
And that's what sucks about the small market teams.
It's really bad for places like here, and I get it, man. I understand the owner's side. They're not dumb, and they got a business to run. I get that. And they need the revenue, and they need fans coming in, and they need that. and the players want their money. I get that. The minor leaguers, I really feel bad for them.
Because there's no season.
Yeah,
No season for minor leagues.
And for the Royals were on the cusp. This was going to be a year to start making that press forward. I mean, the things Dayton Moore was saying in spring training. Like, I look at this Royals minor league system, like the Kyle Isbells of the world, the Daniel Lynch, the Chris Bubich, the Brady Singers of the world, and the 2018 draft class with all these golden arms and expectations. Like, they need to work. They need to work. And it was going to be like the days of the Royals bringing up Danny Duffy, bringing up Eric Hosmer, bringing up Sal Perez. It was fun. I always had my eye on the minor leagues. It's one of the few times I paid attention to the minor leagues. I used to do interviews with the guys like Moose and Duffy. I'd get them in AAA and AA before they got here because that was where the interest was.
Yeah, because you knew the talent that they were going to bring to the
that's where
table.
the interest was. And they all made it here, and it was always a big event. And, when Hosmer hit that home run in New York and all that, it was always fun seeing these players come up. And I think there will be some of that this year too. Will be, would be, should have been, could have been. But it's a year of development of those players, and I don't know what they're going to do with the year of service time. I assume they'll still get it.
Service time is mostly brought about on games.
But they didn't play.
That's true. Well,
and you have Alex Gordon who's going to give it another go with this contract. Maikel Franco was on a one-year deal. He's still got arbitration 4, I think, still available. But I look at the development and what is the golden conduit for this Royals team in its arms. It's that 2018 draft class that included like ball players like Kyle Isbell and those guys and the Jackson Coars and the Daniel Lynch. They got Lynch and Coar for losing Kane and Hosmer. That was the consolation. A lot of people were wanting trade. Well, the Royals held steady, and I don't blame it because they got 2 lights-out arms instead of what they could have just traded for. And maybe those guys they traded for aren't even on this team anymore. So I think the Royals did the right decision. But I do think it hurts in player development with the teams.
Now, with the player development thing, the teams like, say, AAA, AA, where all these kids are at, where these young guns are at, is there a chance that we might see possibly, which I actually might think, if the main players in the Major League Baseball do not do it, there's you're going to say replacement players. So players that are probably agreed upon, it's like maybe AAA, AA, single A, high A, they all ask them and say, hey, would you like to play this year for said, maybe it's the Yankees. And I'm just saying, going through the organization, say we're
I'm not
Yankees.
a fan of that.
I'm not a fan of it either, but there's a good chance that if they pitch that idea to them, you're not going to turn down your lifelong dream of, I'm going to play for the Yankees. But then again, you're also thinking about it as an aspect of, I'm kind of tainting this because who's going to want me after the season knowing that I picked that thing? Maybe
you want to talk about the clubhouse dynamic?
Yeah.
You're a scab, and you're going to be playing amongst them.
Yeah.
Not going to work.
That's the thing. So there's a good chance of players that think, okay, I have at least one or two good seasons I know I can play in the big leagues, and this is my time to shine. Say if you're 28 years old, you're going into your peak, and you know that it may not run too far out. I've had shoulder problems. I've had knee problems in my career. Knowing I can go 1 year of just playing maybe 82 games in the major leagues, putting pinstripes on my uniform, say it's still the Yankees. Every kid's dream. You know for a fact, if you were a little kid playing baseball, you're like, I want to be the next Babe Ruth. I want to be the next so-and-so on the team, and putting the pinstripes on and hitting home runs out or striking out people at, say, Yankee Stadium. That's a dream of some kids. You know for a fact that 27, 28-year-old is in the minor league system right now knowing and thinking, say it's Clint Frazier, just throwing that out there, up and down the entire time in the Yankees organization, which they, I believe, screwed him. I think if I were him, I'd say, you know what? You screwed me this much. I'm going to actually do it. I'm going to be a player in this replacement era of Major League Baseball.
Yes, it was, man. I don't want to go there. I watched the football players that did that. I'll never forget the stories of Bill Moss and those guys, and like Jack Del Rio.
Yeah.
On the back of that truck, and Jack Del Rio going after Otis Taylor, thinking he was a scab and he was working for the Chiefs at the point.
Granted, you're going to tarnish your reputation, but there's a good chance for these players to possibly do that. And if that was to happen, which I hope it doesn't, it would make Major League Baseball look like nothing as what Rob Manfred's already said about calling it a piece of metal for the trophy.
Yeah, it's more than that.
It's yes.
I just look at it like this, Kramer, and I'm thinking baseball. I thought had a legitimate chance because they were going to be starting from the word go. And the problem is they're going to be running into the NFL.
That's the sad part.
And
NFL, NHL, NBA, all at once, possibly if this thing goes into December.
If they had a way where they could have started the season and then restarted, and at least halfway through where you could go through and all of a sudden start having midway through and start the playoffs with the round robin like the NHL is going to do. But it's sad, man. It's sad. You and I both love baseball. Love the sport of baseball. It's fun. I think it's good for this community. I've never seen this community happier when the Royals made those playoff runs. I mean, it was unbelievable, Kramer. I know you were in school still and stuff like that, but I mean, you should have seen it. Like the Kauffman Stadium had like ESPN broadcasting Sports Center Live and Linda Cohn,
which is awesome.
You know, doing that, or MLB Network and the Mad Dog, Chris Russo stopped by and talked to us, and Heidi Watney and all these guys from MLB Network stopped by and said hi to us, and we were at the center of the world. You know, I mean, the baseball means a ton for your community. When towns lose pro teams like St. Louis losing pro football, that hurts bad because that's your identity, man. So, fingers are crossed. I'm staying at 20%. Where you at?
I'm 25. I want.
I'm holding out hope.
That's what that 5% added on to yours is. It's knowing that it's a fourth, and knowing that maybe we can get a fourth of the season would be nice. Players not going to like it because people train for that 162. That's why you play baseball, is for that 162 grind. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon. That's what people, that mindset always is.
It's the thing. And you and I are in the middle of it with the virtual Royals.
Yeah.
We understand the ebbs and flows. Guys get hot. They go cold. They make decisions. You call up the minor leaguers. But this was going to be a year for the Royals players to take that step through AA, through AAA, especially the pitching. And, I mean, I was getting excited about this, 20-man taxi squad. Having your roster, expanded to 30 and then having a 20, so 50 men. Seeing the Kyle Isbels of the world, the Jackson Kowars, the Daniel Lynch, the Chris Bubich at some point, I was excited about seeing that. I mean, that was interesting to me.
I mean, we're excited.
That was going to supplement losing the first 81 games, being able to have this taxi squad of players.
And so we've been getting excited about on our Simulation Royals, bringing up said Jackson Kowar, bringing up said Brady Singer, and the young guns of the Kansas City Royals. We want to see those guys in, and we also want to see them develop properly. But because it's a simulation, it's just a video game. It's not like it's the real deal. I want to see that too, because this could be the year of make or break of. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but say if it's Jackson Kowar, he may not have the season that we expected, but the next year he's lights out and he's up in the majors. That makes sense that way. I like seeing that progression, the development of the players, going from say AA, saying AAA, making that jump to the major leagues. It really is a huge jump of play from AAA to major leagues.
And Dave Moore's always been so good about it. He didn't do it exactly with Terrence Gore because he hopped him from A to AAA because he had the intention. He was going to be a runner for this team. But in AAA, they have more advanced. The pitchers really try to get you out. Mm-hmm. Like, it's harder to steal in AAA than other levels. And sometimes it's harder than the major leagues.
That too, and also with the catchers too, are just like literally guys that come up every once in a while because they are just say someone gets hurt.
But Dayton does a great job of guys going and advancing to the levels, and that part kind of hurts the development. It does. This part, it's not what I wanted to see. I'm excited about the Royals doing it again. And that's what I always tell people. The Royals haven't been good lately. And I was doing the Royals Insider in 18. I mean, they were 5 games under the second half of the season, like 20-something the first half. They made a charge. Mm-hmm. But they're developing. And what we're seeing now, you're seeing a young core. You're seeing Soler that's going to be a part of it. You're just seeing such core. But that's the big miss we're missing as fans.
Yeah, that's something.
But I kind of get both sides, though, to be honest with you. I'm not really.
I do too.
I'm not a fence sitter by any means, but I understand what the players are saying, and I understand what the owners are saying too. I mean, it's a catch-22, bro.
That's the thing. As the point that it shows right now, it all relies now on the players, and that's the bad part because it's going to make the players look like the devil's advocate in this. They're going to make them look like the worst people in the entire sports world, and it's sad because these are probably talented players that like to voice their opinion, and it's their opinion. It's not like it's a right or wrong answer. It's something that they believe in, and it all relies now on the players. Of course, the owners want to do it. The mayors want to do it in said cities. Television companies, radio companies say, yes, we want to do this. The players, it all relies on them, which sucks. It really does. Something that's been relying more on to NFL owners have been some proposals.
Big day.
Yeah, big day for that. I wrote these all out. The rule changes so far. Expanded of the defenseless player protection to kickoffs and punt returners. Expansion of replay into scoring plays or turnovers that have been negated by foul. So that's good. That's a good one.
It's a
Very good one. Excessive time off the clock by commits of multiple dead ball fouls, a la Tennessee and New England. It's the Bill Belichick way. Good thing that's over.
Oh yeah, it's
like yeah.
Belichick had it done to him by his former guy Vrabel.
Yep, that's true.
Who outsmarted him because he did this during the regular season.
And then
Belichick did. It had it done to him.
So he wanted to bring that back
by Vrabel, and that was interesting. That didn't make him happy, but he showcased the rule. That was his goal, and it backfired on him.
He did.
He proved he's out. He wanted to prove he's the smartest guy in the room.
An increase of players returned from the IR from 3. It was 2 last year.
That's good because I always felt it's like any other sport. I always felt if you can come back, you should be able to come back, and I think it should be more than 3.
Yes.
Because if you're hurt, you can come back, make a roster change. If you're able to play, it's the NFL. It's tough. It's a tough business.
And safe.
I'm glad they went to 2 to designate a return. That's smart, but you have such a short window in the NFL. Let them play.
And say if it's – I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. Say if they have to put early in this preseason, they had to put Pat, Tyreek, and Kelsey on the IR. Or if it's instead of Kelsey, do Chris Jones. And you can only bring 2 people back. Who are you bringing back? That's the thing.
Well, I mean, you think the owners would be for it because they're paying them anyway.
Exactly. They were like, okay, we want to bring these guys back because I'm paying this guy just to be on the IR. This is ridiculous. The last one was the NFL sticks with EA for 5 more years. And one thing we thought was going to be on the list, but got removed, I believe either yesterday or 2 days ago, was the Sky Judge, which is completely.
You know what though? I think they're still going to do it. I think they're going to. They can still implement that. I think they're going to try it in the preseason, and the coaches are really for this because it gets things right. Look for this to maybe be in the preseason because you can do that as long as it's not regular season. You practice it, implement it. The owners see it and say, "Hey, this is working. Let's do it."
It's working this way. Good.
Yeah, so the Sky Judge will work. The 4th and 15 was the most interesting one.
Yeah, that got voted no. Which
sort of, not really. They still did a quasi vote on it.
But
instead of a formal vote, they raised their hands and they realized it wasn't going to pass this time. Now it doesn't mean that they're done with this. This does not mean this rule is done, Kramer.
It's voted no for now.
For now, but it wasn't officially voted on.
It's true.
That's the thing. I mean, that's the common misconception is people think it was voted on. It was, but it was a raise your hand and say aye type of thing.
I was kind of for it. I was kind of against it because I like the aspect of the special teams being put on the spotlight of trying to say, we got these guys for our special teamers for a purpose. Get the onside kick, boom, go. Yes, we saw that the numbers were for the onside kick have dwindled down drastically from 2012. So we're seeing the special teams being taken out of it and putting an offense style in there. Here's another thing for it. If you're an offensive side of the ball, aren't you going to want more money because, hey, on these onside 4th and 15 rules, I can help you get this ball. Say if you're Ted Ginn, that he's playing for the Chicago Bears this year, he would have flourished probably in this type of situation because he's a good special teams player that can also transmit over to the wide receiver role to knowing that he can make those big plays at any time and given moment that he's been alluded to from doing those big home run type style plays for kickoff returns and punt returns. So you got to think there's a little bit more in depth to this, but I do not want to see the special teams out of the I guess of harm's well. I don't know. I want to see them out there doing more than just kickoffs and punt returns. That's for that type of formation and field goals. I want to see more. And onside kicks is something that eliminates the special teams. There's a reason for a special teams coach. They practice these all the time. They train for these all the time. Say in preseason and training camps. They work on these to perfect them. Of course, last year it was terrible for it, but you're giving the offense another chance to go out on the field. That's why I'm kind of on the side of no for this.
Well, here's what happened. The NFL owners tabled the 4th and 15, and then it says there was no official vote. Come from Tom Pelissero.
Okay.
No official vote, but they did take a virtual show of hands. That's what I'm saying, this virtual show of hands. But this is interesting right here, and this I do think is the mindset. Rich McKay is with the Falcons. He had said the 4th and 15 alternative onside kick had longest discussion of the day, 20 to 30 minutes.
Wow.
And then it says on the 4th and 15, Rich McKay says there's definitely that theory that you don't want to make the comeback too easy. Troy Vincent adds that someone said in jest, those who have the Hall of Fame quarterbacks should be excluded from this discussion. This is scared of Pat Mahomes' rule.
Yeah. So then take a look at all the Hall of Fame quarterbacks that are probably playing currently right now. Tom Brady, of course. Drew Brees.
Philip Rivers, possibly.
No, I think Rivers
people
is
put him in. I put him
in.
He was always the best, in my opinion, never won a ring.
Yeah. He's got the numbers for it. I'd put him in.
Aaron Rodgers.
He's one of them. Patrick, of course, is one of them. Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger. There's a lot of good quarterbacks though. I wouldn't say they're Hall of Fame worthy yet, but there's still a lot.
MVP quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and stuff like
Exactly.
that. But the bottom line is, this is fear of those guys. This is enough owners that don't have those guys to get the 24 votes.
And that's the thing.
They don't have that quarterback.
You can't. Yeah, well, there's gonna be a lot of votes no because of people are noticing that's like, okay, we can't do this.
If you're another team, if you're in the AFC West and you got to go against Pat Mahomes twice a year, you're gonna vote no on it.
Look at Josh Allen. Probably not the best quarterback for this type of flow. He cannot. He's what for throws that are past 25 yards. I think he's completed like 15 of 70. It seems like he's not a good, accurate quarterback when it's long. We all know this, but this is what not. I can see the Bills voting no on this because it's like, okay, I know my quarterback can't do this, but I know others can.
Well, if you're the Raiders, the Broncos, or the Chargers, you voting for this, knowing you play Pat Mahomes twice a year.
I mean, if
the Chiefs have won 9 out of 10 against each team in this division.
Grant, as a Raiders fan, I would vote no because I know Derek Carr. He does.
Yes,
he does
you don't want to face Mahomes.
Doesn't just do the little slants. That's all he does. That's what he's.
It's scared of Mahomes rule.
It is, and I completely agree. And I don't want it. I want the special teams out there being. I know you probably want it because you want to see Pat out there. Of course, Pat's going to get it. That's the thing. He will get it 2 out of 2 times because he wants to perfect something like that. He likes to perfect everything he does. One thing that I'd like to see in the NFL that will never happen is the XFL kickoff returns. And that's the most safest thing out there. The kickoff returns for them. The kickoffs, that was probably the safest thing out there.
The XFL had a nice kickoff. But I've always been a fan of the kickoff and punt return, man.
That's true, I do too. But
because I love the way it is.
I'm thinking about player
safety.
safety.
The physicality on it. It's don't go grab the beer moment. It's a defining moment, man. Returning kicks is one of the most exciting plays in football.
And when it works, it's most satisfying.
It's one of the most exciting things in football. Going back and Dante Hall doing his deal with Tyreek Hill. I mean, it's just such a game changer. Oh, well, real quick. You had mentioned the EA Sports in your deal there. I like Madden. You're not a fan of the series?
No, I can't stand Madden.
See, but why though? It's
because
the staple. It's the thing. Everybody plays Madden.
I like Madden. I John Madden, of course. I like the game, the title and stuff. But the gameplay on the game is horrendous. It is. I've gone from so how about this?
It's interesting coming from you because you are a true gamer.
Yes, I mean I'm not trying to say I'm a 2K type pro person, but
you're a 2K snob.
No, actually not, because I used to enjoy NBA 2K. Now I hate it. But on NFL 2K back in 2005 to 2006, 2007, they produced games that were physics-based and non-animations. There's so many animations in Madden that it trumps everything and it makes random glitches toward the game. It does not. It's not traditional gameplay from me watching it on TV and how players react. Heck, during the Madden Championship, the guy exploited a pretty much a run formation on there, and he ran the ball the entire game and won because he knew with all the blocking stuff, he's played this game so much, he knows what plays are broken.
It's like Tecmo Bowl Play 3 with the 49ers.
Exactly. So there's just so much wrong with this game. Even like, say I throw it downfield if I'm playing Madden. It's going to get tipped. It's going to get tipped again. It's going to get tipped again, and the other team's going to recover it. How many times have we seen that in pro football?
All the time.
Where it's tipped 4 different times and it's still up in the air for a person to intercept it who was 15 yards the other way before they saw it. Bink, this game's broken.
But the players love it, man.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
The players love Madden.
The players always disagree with their...
Well, it's part of the fun.
That's
when people whine about their speed order, that's fun.
They disagree about that, but there's some players that won't play the game because of how the gameplay is, Bink. I'm serious. Like I know I'm not the only one.
There's a few games. I mean, it still stands out to me as EA. EA does a great job.
The best,
still that college football EA 2004. College football is one of my favorites.
When it made the switch to the next gen consoles with this game, it went to crap. It really did. Like I'm not the one that says the Madden 25th anniversary edition was good because I don't think it was. The last best one was when Drew Brees was on the cover. I'm pretty sure that was either 11 or 12. I had like the best core gameplay.
I'm a fan of MLB The Show. By the way, that Sky Judge that we kind of went over real quick.
Yes.
NFL owners won't be voting on, this is from Pro Football Talk, voting on proposals calling for the addition of a sky judge to NFL officiating crews for the 2020 season. The 2 proposals were withdrawn for that, but they have been replaced with another proposal for a preseason test of a system allowing for real-time communication between officials on the field and in the booth. This is perfect with access to video.
Shouldn't they have already done that last year?
They should have. The key difference between this proposal and the other ones that were withdrawn is who will be in the booth. The proposal says any information can be requested by the on-the-field officials during a conference before there are 25 seconds left on a play clock. So, again, I think they're going to try this in the preseason, see if they like it, and move on from there. I wish they'd put this 4th and 15 in the preseason. At least try it. It's
if they can at least try it that way, it'd be good. But I do not want to see this thing move over into the other. Give it
preseason.
Do the scrimmage games.
You know why? Because half those guys that are on the kickoff teams aren't going to make the team.
That's true.
Guys that are going to make your roster are not there. Those are the guys trying to make your roster, which I guess is good. It's good for evaluation purposes. But 4th and 15, now everybody do it. Everybody use their 2 a game.
Well, why don't you
have nothing to lose?
Why don't you just do the onside kick and just say, okay, we're just going to overload the side, we're going to kick it on, but the people who are trying to recover it will have about 3 less guys. Why don't you do something like that? Overload one side and then have 3 less on a defensive side of trying to recover it. Why don't you do that? That can fix this entire onside kick rule and problem, and this will be limited to, you know what? We don't have to have 2 per game. We can do this as many times as we want. It depends on when you want to do it. Why don't you just do something like that? Get your special teams out there. That's all I'm saying.
But you're going to see it in preseason. Preseason is a great way. It's like baseball does their changes with the clock and stuff in the minor leagues.
True.
It makes sense.
True. Yeah.
Get guys acclimated to it.
Start with a runner on second base.
Get the new generation
extra
acclimated. Yes, but get guys acclimated to this while they're young. And they don't care because they're video gamers, these young players. This is stuff they love.
And they're not playing Madden.
It's not the old school, don't backflip guy.
It's just how I guess the time's changing, I guess.
I guess so.
And I guess the special teams doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just there to kick the ball, and then
it's not special anymore, Kramer.
It's not special anymore, Bink. Sky Judge, I do want them in there too. We don't need to have the full mic'd up version of it of people with a camera in there. We don't need that, but we just need better play calling and everything to be set in stone. And honestly, to be honest, last season, I thought they did that because they had their little program set up in New York, like usual, to where they had the headsets on, they're talking to somebody. We know they're talking to somebody that's in New York. Why didn't they do that then? Why didn't they say, okay, it's right there? Nope, we'll let you judge it since you're there at the game watching it in real time, rather than we're getting a phone call saying, hey, can you pull up the 3rd down and 20 and scroll it back to like before the play ends, but right before it starts. Make sure we see that, and something that you can see, and we'll see it here too on our iPad or the Jumbotron, and we'll get things set in stone that way. Why wasn't the guy over in New York saying the rules, or playing it out, saying, okay, his knee was down, the ball did not cross the line, it's 4th and inches. Why didn't you just do something like that? Why didn't they do that last year, Bink? Why didn't they do that?
No, we're going to put computer chips in footballs here soon, Kramer, too.
Why don't they do that already?
You're talking common sense.
It's like
use advancements like we do in society. When things change, we change. Now we can open our garage doors from our cell phones.
It's weird how
use technology.
Very true. It's weird how the NFL is so advanced in almost all marketing, TV, everything, but the rules and how the gameplay is from the NFL officials is not even up to where said that $50 billion that they made last year.
And they know it's a problem. When you have Troy Vincent from the league acknowledging, taking responsibility, say we have a problem.
Yeah,
because they implemented this rule for replay on pass interference. It lasted 1 year,
which is ridiculous.
You know why? Because they hurried it.
Had
they taken their time and maybe done it through preseason, worked on the
understanding
worked on
what
some
is
things
what isn't.
here and there on it, and then they implement it for this season and see what happens. Especially when they're starting to make more officials full time. Mm-hmm. But they should have planned it out, done it preseason, and then integrated it for this season.
Because there was with that rule change that they decided to get rid of this year. There was coaches trying to figure out saying, if I throw this challenge flag, I'm losing it because I know it's not going to go with me.
12%, 15%.
It's terrible.
It was terrible.
So bad. But those are your real changes for the NFL. Some things that I want to cover a little bit before we head out of here, before we answer the comments or questions if we have any. I know we have a few. So, which one should we go for with Jersey City Brewery Drink has brought out a new drink called the Trash Can Banger.
Love it.
And it's a replica of the 70s, 80s type Astros look on the can. It's an IPA with a 5.4 alcohol content. Is this
In
something
New
you
Jersey?
drink? New Jersey. Jersey City Brewery.
I must get this.
I think I will have to order some of this.
Speaking of that, the Astros, are they not getting a free pass here?
They're easily getting a free. People still remember it.
I mean, they don't want to play ball, do they? They just want to go and crawl
if-
back in their hole for a year.
If you're an Astro, you don't. You're like, okay. That's the thing. Speaking of that as well, is AJ Hinch, Alex Cora, and whoever was involved with all that stuff right now, are they suspended for next season or just this year?
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe he could be a spokesman for that beer. Trash can banger.
What, AJ Hinch be the spokesperson for it?
You know what, though?
Carlos Beltran would.
You know what? The Astros are losing out on so much minor league ridicule. So many trash can nights are going to happen this year in minor league baseball that we're not going to see.
I mean, we already saw that with the Philadelphia Flyers and Gritty having his trash can he banged during the.
I mean,
the
they were
hockey
going to wear
season.
this. They were going to wear this crap for a while, man. They were going to wear this.
They'd have to. Like, I think the Hooks would probably have some type of. That's their AA affiliate.
Astros, we're just, I don't know what they're saying, but let's go ahead and call the season.
They're the reason for this. Most of their players are. They're probably their front office saying, talking to their players, saying, "Hey, say you don't want this at all. It may be the best thing out there, but say no, we're not doing this. We're gonna figure out some type else thing. But if your message, say Alex Bregman or Jose Altuve, who's wearing the vibrator, just say, no, don't say. You're telling them, I'm not doing this. This is terrible. Make sure you say that." But I would buy this beer. I would drink this beer. I think it'd be.
I want this beer.
I think I like IPAs a little bit. I have to be in the mood for them for some reason.
I'm a craft beer fan, so I would be all over this beer. I've got to find a way to get them on the beer segment.
Yeah, it's honestly that'd be how funny that'd be.
I've got to find a way.
Yeah, you need
there's a will, there's a way, Chris.
You need to find a way.
Mixing sports and beer. There's a brewery out in Bonner Springs. It's called the Outfield Beer Company, right? I've had them in the studio, and they got the idea to create a brewery at the 14 playoff run. A couple guys like me and you out there drinking a few beers, watching the game. So let's go ahead and open that brewery. You and I both like making beer. Let's open a brewery.
Right.
And it's all baseball themed. Like the whole
That's
bar,
awesome.
the whole brewery is like baseball themed.
That's the best way to do it.
It would be perfect for them to have. I'll tell my guy at Backstop Bar and Grill, which is like a real bar and grill that's baseball themed.
He needs to get this.
His whole thing, Backstop, he opens here the 6th. He's reopening. Thankfully.
Good.
Yeah, because these again small business, but I'll tell him about this.
We can do one of our podcasts there.
I'd love to get this beer. Yes, we could do the podcast there. We could. I would love to get this beer in that bar.
Yeah, awesome.
What's it called again?
It's called the Trash Can Banger.
All right.
Well, just trash can banger.
I like this. I like this a lot. We'll work on getting this beer.
Good. People coming back for fighting or the money. So, just today, this is kind of like not breaking news, but it happened earlier today. That we record these on this is a Thursday, the 28th to date this right now.
Yeah.
Anderson Silva, Conor McGregor are going to fight. They're gonna have a UFC fight. So Anderson Silva is going to come back out. Mike Tyson, that's the big one. Mike Tyson's huge. He's going to come back and fight. He's going to do something.
Once unbeatable.
Evander Holyfield's going to come out.
Good.
So are they doing this for the fighting or for the money, Bink?
Well, I mean, give him some credit for being at that age, staying in shape.
Especially if you're Holyfield and Tyson.
When you're a fighter, you're a fighter. You know what? Create a senior division. You know we have senior golf.
Yeah.
Let's do senior fighting.
I'm trying to think, who was the running back?
Actually, you know what? If they're enough of a badass, would you like to see them face a younger guy? Because a lot of these fighters are late 30s, early 40s. But wouldn't you like to see? I know I'm sitting here saying let's create, but even the seniors would play. Remember Tom Watson making a run at the British Open? He was playing seniors golf, but he could compete with the best of the young guys. Which occasionally they'll play seniors and they'll go play the regular circuit.
So this is a person, Herschel Walker. He's a guy that is.
I would watch Herschel Walker. Dude stays in shape. The guy's a beast, even at his age. I would love to see
with
it.
the cage fighting after football. I think he still does it.
So I'm thinking this. Would you have a senior division for fighters that don't want to? I mean, here's the thing though, Kramer. Guys that don't want to hang it up, it's still in their blood. A senior circuit, but would you want to see them fight a younger? I guess there could be the provision they could still fight a younger fighter if they're capable. No one wants to see them get their ass kicked.
No.
Like the last thing I want to do is see Mike Tyson get rolled.
Well, that's the thing.
Against Tyson Fury or something. No, I think That's one thing I don't want to see.
The Tyson Fury's father wants to fight Tyson. I know that for a fact, which is ridiculous. Mike Tyson, this was by Bleacher Report. They reported received a $12 million plus contract from bare knuckle fighting championship to compete in a match. That's a bare knuckle. Would you take?
I have seen Twitter with old people fighting. It is humorous.
It is. I agree. I agree with that. So these guys are gonna get paid, and that's the thing with Tyson. I don't know if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, but he was talking with him saying, "How would you
gonna do it? Do it now."
This was a year ago. This wasn't prior to him doing the thing. He said, Tyson was like, "I don't want to do it because once that flip gets switched, it won't go off." And he turned that switch off a long time ago. We saw him. He had to go through rehab. Heck, Mike Tyson was like out of shape 10 years ago, and he has abs now.
That's a sport you could theoretically do, just like golf, boxing, I believe. But here's the thing: like baseball, you're not going to see a senior circuit. It's just not going to work. Football, you're not going to see it work either. Guys, once they're done playing football, they're done. I mean, they have a hard time getting out of bed and everything in the morning. The one thing where I would like to see seniors implemented, now roll with me on this, home run derby. Always looking at a way to spike things up. I'm sitting there saying put Barry Bonds and those people in the home run derby. Mark McGuire, these type of, I mean, wouldn't you be interested in them competing in that just for fun? Like have a different division, have a senior division, but then have the winner of that compete against major league players.
You know for a fact Ken Griffey Jr. can still rake.
Yes. But wouldn't you be interested in seeing that? Maybe
I would watch it.
Because he's always the legend of Ichiro. I don't know if it's an urban legend or not that he's always able to hit, which I've seen him hit batting practice. When he wants to hit home runs, he was hitting home runs.
Or listen to this. This could be charity based. I actually, this is just popped in my head. Do a 5 to 10 game with 4 teams. Softball. With all these legends, everybody who's still around, who's I would say either in shape. I mean, there's some guys that are probably in their 60s or 70s that can probably still hit the ball and still feel fine and perfect. And it's softball. Heck, you don't even have to have you can have a mandatory softball person that only does softball pitches. That's all he does. You could do this for charity, and I'd watch that. Heck, I love watching after the home run derby, watching the celebrity softball game. I love watching that because I like.
I don't.
See, I love it.
It's not seeing these celebrities play. I'm not for that.
No, that's the thing. I watch it for the former players because Ryan Howard one year just. I think it was Atlanta. I don't know where he was at. He crushed one, hit the base of the wall. Like, come on now.
Well, riddle me this, Batman. You're way too young to remember. I'm too young to remember, although it was kind of at the twilight when I was young. The home run derby, when they went out to a field and it was
pre-recorded and taped.
Yeah, it was a TV show.
Yeah,
home run derby. With the virus and the hiatus, do it now.
Yeah,
have like Nelson Cruz and Jorge Soler show up in Vegas. I mean, seriously, with this virus, it's content. Think of golf. They're thinking outside the box. Hey, let's have Tiger and Phil in match 2 and have Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Baseball could do this.
It's kind of like with the
Horse
thing.
If they shut this season down, this needs to be done.
If Horse was on ESPN at one point, they don't even have to be in the same area. Heck, say if you are Gary Sheffield and you're Ken Griffey Jr., you want to do.
No, you need dimensions the same.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. You go to like a college park or something like that dimensions will be the same. What? Or some like local area.
And I understand travel's not the best, but there's enough guys that live close to each other out in L.A. or down in Florida.
That's something that could easily happen. I would. You know me. I would watch that.
Of course we would. Like right now, it's like if baseball is shut down.
If Trevor Bauer can get people to go to
Sandlot game, it was brilliant. Trevor Bauer was brilliant.
Yep.
But the bottom line is, if they shut it down, I mean, obviously, if they start it back up, they can't be doing this nonsense.
No, they can't.
But if they shut this down, let's roll, baby.
I agree.
Let's roll, baby.
Let's roll on that one. And June's a big month for said sports around the world, as we see so far that IndyCar will start June 6th, the AFL, the Aussie Rules Football League. Really good. June 11th, the Premier League, June 17th, and Serie A, June 20th. Those are 4 that we know that will be coming back this month for sports-wise. Serie A and Premier League.
PGA's coming back.
PGA, is it official yet?
Yeah, in June.
So it's the 11th of June, I believe. It's either 11th or 12th, if that is official. Which one of these oddities out of the big 4 are you actually planning on watching? Because you know you're going to watch some sports.
PGA.
PGA? I think I'm going to dive deep into the AFL. If you have not seen the AFL,
it's good for you to watch. It's kind of like late night.
You late night.
Ultimate. Where's that crap at?
In Australia.
the guys that lift buses and stuff. The strongest man.
Yeah, I think
that's my typical late night being drunk watch
on ESPN too.
Oh God, yes.
You ever had the thought of like, I could pull that truck, I could pull my vehicle outside.
June 11th through 14th.
Okay, so that is coming back. And UFC's of course is already back, so I didn't put that in.
UFC's great. NASCAR, watching that. NASCAR's been brilliant.
The AFL is something that I'm going to dive deep in. I watched one game of it and was hooked before they had to cancel the season because it kind of got gained some popularity of saying, oh, why is this sport going on and the other ones that can't, which was kind of completely bogus of why
NASCAR
people did
races
that.
tonight.
It's true. I need to probably put some money on that.
I was thinking it was Wednesday, but it's Thursday this week.
I wonder why it's Thursday, because of rain probably, or it got pushed back or something like that.
I don't remember why, but it's the races tonight.
I'm going to check to see if we have any questions and or comments for this one. It seems like we just have one so far. On Twitter, Noble, which is my buddy Nolan, he said, how possible is it for the Chiefs to repeat? There's a season, I say it's a good chance.
I think it's highly probable. And I just look at the AFC, and Baltimore stands there in the way, obviously. But they need to start learning to win in the postseason. I'm not ruling Baltimore out. Lamar Jackson didn't get the job done statistically, still had a good game. I think it's better for the Chiefs. When you're bringing back 20 of 22 starters, that would play in any year, but that really plays in this year. Mm-hmm. The familiarity, the timing, the routing, that would be important in any year, but this year specifically, when you don't have the OTAs, we might have OTAs at the end of the month, we don't know yet. But without OTAs, rookie minicamp, without the heavy reliance on rookies, having people back in the system that know what's expected, a bunch of winners with rings on their fingers walking around there starting for your team. This year, more than any year, I believe is better set up for a repeat by the Chiefs. Regardless, having those players back is huge. This year, even more so.
Yeah, even with their schedule lined up and stuff and how things are going to probably be, how the season will go and how the postseason will go, they got a good chance. I really do. I think they have a good chance. They have a good chance of getting there. Now it's the chance of winning the game. How offensive heavy or how defensive heavy will this team in the North the NFC will actually try to compete against this year? Because we saw 49ers did amazing, then they just got beat by Mahomes. They got beat by him. We know that.
Chiefs have more days of rest than any NFL team. Regardless, the Chiefs have won 9 out of 10 against everybody in this division. Andy Reid is incredible against the AFC West. And not only that, there's a bye week before every AFC West road game. Now, the Raiders one is a real bye week. The other two are Thursday night games, so they get that Friday.
Yeah,
it's like mini bye weeks.
Mini buys.
They're mini bye weeks. Mini kids. They get mini buys.
You're giving Andy Reid 3 extra days to prep for a game, which is really dangerous.
This season is set up for some good things in Kansas City.
So yes or no? Repeat?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go yes to that as well.
Yes.
Don't forget, you can always ask us questions via Twitter. You can ask us in the comment section on YouTube, or I don't know. I'm not sure if there's any comment section on Spotify or our iTunes that people can at least ask us sports-related questions per video. But, Bink, you have anything else you want to add to this show, and we can wrap it up?
No, nothing to add. Listen to Vern tonight. 6 o'clock. He'll have some good stuff. Watch our virtual baseball.
Yeah, virtual baseball, of course.
Vern over on 610. It's much to listen to, especially on a night like tonight with so many things going on.
Oh,
Baseball
definitely.
Would be interesting. Watch some virtual baseball. Our Royals in action tonight. What are we on? Game
is it 56 or 57? One of those.
57.
That's a lot of baseball virtually.
It's a lot of virtual baseball. Jorge Soler, by the way, 22 home runs so far.
You know,
Mahomes with 4.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. So Bink, I think episode 2's on a wrap.
Yeah, we need a new logo.
Yeah, we do. It looks like a third grader did. Excited.
Yeah, but still, that's kind of me and you, though. It's kind of our personalities.
Honestly, it's very
We're
true.
talkers, not drawers.
Oh,
you forgot one important thing.
What's that?
It's National Hamburger Day.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, there's always a day for everything, and this one's kind of a special day. I love burgers as much as you.
What's your top 3, Bink?
Top 3 burger places in Kansas City?
Just top 3 burger places in general.
Okay, Tay's Burger Shack on Armour. There's one out south now, too. Tay's Burger Shack for sure, number 1.
Never been there.
Town Topic in LC's or Burgers.
So
I like Five Guys. Five Guys I'd throw in there,
I
too.
think Five Guys is
big
probably...
fans of their burgers.
That's my top 3. Five Guys, Whataburger. And
Oh, Whataburger. Yeah,
you
if
got-
we're including them, yeah, Whataburger.
Yeah, you
of
got- that's
course.
what I said,
Okay,
all of them,
Whataburger,
all of them.
Taze, Whataburger, boom.
I'd probably just go Five Guys Whataburger. It's just I don't know what my third one is because there's so many. It's just that there's a big gap between those two to the third one. To where I don't know like what would be that third.
Burgers are subjective. Like everybody's got their spot. Like there's this place I need to take you to. It's on the outskirts of Lee Summit near Raytown, like Johnny Ray's Drive-In.
Yeah.
Burgers are fantastic. Or Hayes Burgers.
Never been there, but I've heard
Town
it's really
Topic.
good. I've had Town Topic.
It's brilliant. But what makes a good burger to you?
The meat, how thickness of it is. Like I'm a big meat and cheese type guy, and if I get a pencil thin type meat patty, I'm gonna hate it. If I get like a thick one, a little bit, put like a slice of cheese on top, slice of cheese on bottom, I'm gonna love you forever. You also gotta add mayonnaise to a cheeseburger.
Fine. What about
And
the
some
Juicy
lettuce.
Lucy with the cheese inside the meat?
Oh, I'd totally eat it.
That's what they eat.
I never had it.
Minneapolis. In Lake used to talk to me all those all the time. But the Juicy Lucy is a good burger. I prefer double patties. At least it's got to be two. I can go 3, 4. It doesn't matter.
I can go
It's got to
three.
be. It's got to be.
So
at least
okay,
two.
here's one.
Got to be 2
Have you had
patties.
In-N-Out?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I hate it. Hate it.
I like Whataburger.
If I want an In-N-Out, I'll go to Steak
You're
Shake.
talking to the wrong guy here because I love it.
I'll go to Steak and Shake.
I'm
for
not,
a burger.
I'm not a burger snob.
Steak and Shake is probably my number 3.
But seriously, if you take, it's got to have crisp lettuce. Crisp. I'm talking crisp. Onions. I freaking love onions.
I do too.
Mushrooms. Got to have mushrooms. And here's the thing. I've got to have bacon. I know bacon became popular again, which I don't ever know why it wasn't popular. It's bacon.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
always
You gotta
been
love
good.
bacon.
But it did. It hit this
Greasy
resurgence.
goodness.
It's like pleated pants went out of style, right? Bacon went out. It didn't go out of style. Bacon's bacon. It's got to have bacon. Got to have mushrooms. Got to have some onions. Got to have the pepper jack cheese on those 2 patties, but crisp, clean lettuce.
Yeah, and I agree.
Happy Hamburger Day, Kramer.
I gotta have cheese, of course, bacon, mayonnaise, lettuce. Throw a little bit of onion because I get heartburn at a young age. Gotta have a little bit of onion in that, and boom, you're done. If you want to get a little spiced up, throw a little bit of jalapenos on it, but that's not my go-to at typical times on cheeseburgers. I have been doing that recently, but more heartburn's coming. Can't do that. So let us know in the comment section what your top 3 burgers are.
I would love to hear the best burger play. I want to know what the best places are.
I do too.
Channel 9 put out a list of top 5 or something at one point, and Wachowski went and I went to them all. Try out what they were. I've got to take you to Taze though. It's like single, double, home run, triple. It's grass-fed beef. It's phenomenal.
I'll have to try it though.
Phenomenal. And keep in mind, there's a lot of these bars, like these small bar and grills, like Backstop and stuff, that have great burgers. Heck, I'm a big fan of the peanut. They have peanut burgers, what they call it, and it's the burger doused in buffalo wing sauce.
Oh, nice.
It's their wing sauce on a burger, dude.
I like that.
Dude.
Make sure you comment anything, type of questions down below. Keep the conversation rolling as usual. Subscribe, like this video, share it to a friend. It's been The Pound. Have a good one.